again. Okay, another live stream. Working on cleaning up all this these computers for the threat mitigation, I guess you could call it. Sometimes it's my own fault. I got the bright idea yesterday of installing, after I had my Lenovo i5, I had it coming up clean in virus scans from that Firefox add-on. They call it two different names. Safe Web with Virus Total. That's the that's actually the, I don't know, maybe that was the original name and they kind of changed the name, but that's the name of in the link that I had. I deleted it now to make sure I don't ever go back to that website, but from addonbrowser.com. And the other one is a slightly different variation of those words. Anyway, and it's really set up. I mean, if you go to their, I went yesterday back to their install page on Fire. It's in the Firefox, add-ons on their site. And that's how come I thought it would be trustworthy, and put it on there. So anyway, I won't go into all that. I've got 11 or 12 previous videos talking about that. So there was Trojans in my browser cache, but not out through my machine. On this machine, I haven't skinned Mom's brand new machine yet. I had put it on my machine and hers, and then Firefox Sync, put it on every machine that I sync. So luckily, I only had, I don't know, well, I deleted it once, the other day when I figured out it was bad. So Sync, I noticed that Sync actually, when I deleted it out of Mom's new machine, the next time, well, she noticed it and shut down her machine on the laptop that she was using, and they were syncing with each other. She shut it down immediately because she knew something seemed wrong, And so when I opened it up, the page I actually was in, I went into the, just as I went into the, well, I saw the pop-ups, the malware site pop-ups, and like the fake Firefox update and everything. And then I went into the add-ons to uninstall it, and I think I got a glimpse of it being uninstalled just as I opened it. Either that or it was, I don't know, I thought I saw that. But anyway, I've seen that before, when Sync will be doing things. If you happen to open up your add-ons page, then you'll see what it's doing, So anyway, putting things in or taking things out. So, look, I got my laptops moved around so that I can, oh, wrong mouse now. Let me check my sound. Yeah, okay. So, right now I'm going to let that preview keep playing. Well, it can't run for a long time. That machine can't handle it, but okay, so I had them cleaned up. The Dell1525 laptop, it was coming up in scans with nothing anywhere, and so was this one. I was all happy yesterday, and then I got the right idea. I said, okay, I'm going to I didn't have TeamViewer on the Dell laptop, and I wanted to, do a desktop video to show what I was doing on it. And of course, it's way better than aiming a camera at the screen, especially since my cameras are, not that high. I can't. Well, I'm doing Wi-Fi streaming, and I can't go higher than 720p. My cameras and my phones will actually do 1080p. So anyway, I've gone into that enough time. So let's go to the desktop, and I'll just go explain what I'm talking about as I go. Okay, so let's look at these. No, let's look in SE Linux, Security Linux first. Let's see. Well, let's just do a search for it. I don't remember where it is. There it is, SE Linux Troubleshooter. Okay. Now, looking at my preview again. It's enough behind that it's kind of hard to. And so what? Well, I installed it on the Dell1525 laptop. It's Debian 8. It doesn't have SE Linux, Security Linux. Only Fedora has it, and maybe some other distros I don't know about. But okay, I'm going to pause that. pause that preview now, knowing that it's running and thinking that I have to look at it might be even more distracting. So, about, 6 of them popped up right in a row, and you don't really ever see that. While okay, so on Domain 8 I installed it, and of course when you install something that's not in the repos, it always says, sometimes it'll say, do you trust this, where this is coming from, or it'll say this is untrusted. It said this is untrusted on Domain 8, but on here, okay, so then when I went to try to install, well, I put it was TeamViewer 13. Well, I have TeamViewer 12 on this machine here, this Lenovo i5 Fedora 23. Well, they couldn't connect, and so a 2-minute thing turned into a 30-minute thing of finally having to give up, and on top of everything else. So I said, okay, I'll upgrade it to 13, and that's when all that happened. And I'll save the errors. I'll look at them in a minute. I just kind of scanned through them, but I remember it looked like the errors it wouldn't install, and the errors in the installation looked like it was trying to overwrite the old version and it couldn't. And then I got to thinking later, last night and this morning when I woke up, actually I woke up at I went to bed at like 3:30 or something, and I woke up at 7:30, not ready to get up, but woke up, and immediately I was like, oh crap, what did I do? And I couldn't hardly go back to sleep thinking about it. And anyway, I guess your brain processes stuff while you're sleeping, even if you don't remember. But so here's Security Linux, and I've just, I finished breakfast. I got up about 12. No, I got up about 1. So it's 4:30 now. Anyway, I still don't know what I'm doing, but I've got to get work on this. So this one here, fprintd, wake alarm. Okay, now that one comes up every time you type in the root password nowadays for some reason. It started doing it not around the time that, I'll see, troubleshoot. Okay, now it says fprintd should have the wake alarm capability by default. Then you could run these commands. Well, if you don't really know what's happening, then don't do it. If you really understand it, and you want to let it happen, do it. That's my rule for me. Anyway, fprintd doesn't necessarily mean you're printing a piece of paper on a printer. In computer world, from the beginning, they said to print the file. What they meant, I don't know why they printers, I guess the concept of printing on a computer, maybe they just took it because there were printing presses and things, right? And of course newspapers and all that, so I guess they just took that and put it into the computer world, their world, the programmers did. Trying to give a drink. Allergies, everything. Okay, so this is my take on. I've seen them. I've watched some of the old original videos from the 60s. It's pretty interesting watching them explain this stuff. But anyway, print to screen. It said you've got that button on your keyboard. Still, most keyboards, unless you have a funky one. But print screen. Oh, print screen. Which is something that you used to do. You could actually. In that case, I think that really meant print screen to a printer, But anyway, when it says print, if you're in the terminal and you put in, just like say, I don't know the exact command, but print, then it would just put it up on the screen. It would put up, sometimes it would even open up another terminal window and put it up in the screen, depending on how that system was set up. So print to screen, not print to a printer is what I'm trying to say. So I think that's actually what so that could be, and you can even print and not show it, like print in the background, and so I think it can be a function of a program, and I think it could probably be, like if a malicious program was doing print to screen or print in the background and print hidden print, then it would be well, often if executable, it's going to be running that executable. That's what I'm trying to get to. Okay, so this one has been doing that. This is not one of those alerts. I don't think. We'll see. I haven't looked at them yet because I tried. I clicked on it and it never came up, and then I quit. I got sidetracked. I didn't keep looking. I didn't actually open up the app. So let's list all alerts. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Okay, now okay, that's the oldest to the newest. Oh, okay, and see, each one tells you how many times it occurred. Troubleshoot F, execute. Okay, so these aren't in date order. These are just in, I don't know. Well, maybe they are, but anyway, make temp 8. And see, this is the things that XE Linux didn't allow because it thought it could be dangerous. Now, years ago, it was so it used to be so strict and so hard to figure out. A really complicated program for me. I'm not, if I was a programmer, maybe a Linux admin programmer, a developer, then maybe I'd understand. Would probably understand it, but. I learned enough to use this interface fairly well, but that's about it. I used to make my own rules sometimes. There was another program it would help you make the rules because if it's something that you wanted to do. And back in, I started learning Linux in 2005 with Fedora. Back then there wasn't as many threats that you had to worry about for Linux machines. Well, now there are more, and so I'm being more careful. And so anyway, you could. Actually, it was a Linux, Fedora developer, Fedora dev. I would file, back then I used to always file bug reports when something was bug, it just seemed like it was a bug and it wasn't work right, and then they would answer you, and sometimes they would tell me what to do, and that one of them, she sent me, back the commands on the Fedora bug page. I told him, I don't know these commands. He said, well, just do this, and I said, well, I don't know the commands. If you tell me the commands, I'll run them, So anyway, he told me to put it in permissive mode, put SE Linux in permissive mode. And he said, because I was having a lot of trouble, and he said, and it wasn't supposed to be doing what it was doing. He could tell that. I would not on my own say, okay, I'm just gonna tell this it's okay. I knew better than that because I didn't know if it was okay. And so he said, well, that's okay. And he said you could disable SE Linux, but I would rather you not do that. And I'm like, well, I like this having the security, And this is all back in emails, back and forth. Well, and on the page itself, like you'd answer on the page. But anyway, he sent me the commands and that's how I learned how to put SE Linux in permissive mode. And I ran it that way for years and years. But then as the threats you hear more and more about threats to Linux. And I think SE Linux got more refined over the years. It quit from blocking things that were okay. I have just left it in default mode, full, however it's set up, full on, and it's fine, except for sometimes you get things like what I'm talking about here. And it didn't used to do that. I don't remember exactly when it started, but anytime I have to type in my root password, like to update the thing or to install a program, that fprintd makes XE Linux go off. And since I really don't know for sure, and here's the other side of that, is fprintd got something to do with... I always, there's one place there's two places you're going to run into malware, most likely, the web browser and email. And I use Thunderbird email client. And so if some, there's some Trojans and things and different things that are bad enough that all you got to do is preview an email in a client and it can set it off. You don't even have to click on a link or anything. So I always keep that in mind. I just very seldom click on a link in an email at all. I'll just go to the site and try to find whatever it's talking about, even though it might be some site I use all the time. It's hard sometimes because, sometimes hard to find things. But anyway, in case, it's some kind of malware in an email that actually can do something, can run on Linux, even though it might not be able to hurt the system, it could run, and it might be... it could be a spam bot or something, or anything like that. And so you're not actually seeing any damage to your computer. It's not running bad or anything, but maybe you're a spam bot and you don't even know it. So I always just let it block it because I don't know for sure. I think I looked it up a couple of times. I don't remember now. Anyway, and also, I knew I was going to reformat soon, so that's another reason why I didn't go into it. Now here's one. This is mail, okay? That one there, which one? fprintd. That's a different thing. Wake alarm fprintd 1800 times that it's happened, and that's in the whole history of this system. Yeah, whole history, because I've never deleted any of these. I like to keep them. Okay, now that one up there, id config execute. Well, that's an executable. se troubleshoot f. I don't know what it is, but it's happened twice. Make temp, that could be when I was installing something, or it could have been something malicious in the web browser trying to do it. So none of these were allowed to happen. Now here's one, mail, ESMTP. That's one that we really would think might be something trying to send a mail from your machine that you don't want to send. Now maybe it's a normal thing that you're trying to do and it blocked it, but I don't have trouble sending emails, so that may very well be attempts at a spam bot right there. That one there too. And it says read. It doesn't say send or anything, but it's on mail. It says read, so maybe it blocked it. That sounds more like it blocked it. But ESMTP, okay, I don't know what ESMTP is. Anyway, it blocked it. This is how, this is SE Linux in action. Like I said, this is a whole life of this system since Fedora 23. Now we're at Fedora 28. So there's one. Well, let's see. Mail write 103 times. So I'm pretty sure, because anytime I scan my system, there's always some Trojans and bad crap in my mail. Usually they're in the trash folder because they actually automatically got put to trash before I even saw them, got put to spam or something. But they're still in there, and they're trying to run. So send mail read 75 times. Java create, I don't know, but it didn't. It thought it was bad and it didn't let it. Dot multi-drive, I don't know. Haven't looked in this in a while. Plugin contain, that's a player in the web browser playing certain types of stuff, and it tried to do something that didn't look right. Gutty print, wake alarm 8 times. Wine preloader, that's probably something that I don't have Wine installed in here, so that has to be TeamViewer trying to do something that it didn't want it to do, so it stopped it. So, and then that one there, I didn't know, I can't believe it did it 1,800 times. So there we go. Now, I'm going to close that window. What I want to do, okay, so this opened up to 11 of 11, so go previous. Okay, Wine preloader, nmap 0. Okay, mmap 0. It tried to do something. Oh, that's different. You're on troubleshoot, but it won't let you. You can usually copy and paste these, and what if you hit? You can see the details. Oh, okay. Let's look at the details. Anyway, you can usually copy and paste those to do the commands, but those are not active. Wine preloader should need nmap low memory in the kernel. Now, see, that can be a dangerous thing. I don't exactly know 100% how all that works, but those are some of the places where you can attack a machine if you know how to do that. Then you may be under attack by a hacker. It's very dangerous access. Contact, so plugin catch-all boolean. Okay. So I'm not going to go through every little detail, especially since I don't understand it all. But yeah, see, it's set to enforcing, not permissive. Enforcing mode is enforcing. That's what SE Linux is set to. And the type is targeted, but that's automatically set up in SE Linux. You could, mess around with that with the right programs, not this one. But I don't do it anymore. I don't need to. It doesn't stop me from being able to do what I need to do. So that was probably while I was trying to install. Well, it was, because this one I don't believe had anything to do. Number 11 just happened because I had to type in the root password. Or maybe it did it again as I shut down that installer, but that's the installer for TeamViewer 13. So this was why I'm looking at this, to see if I think that if it was just trying to overwrite the old version of TeamViewer and it threw it off like that, or if it was really trying to do something bad. And those files that, even though they had been scanned about 3 times at least, but they were on the, let's see, See, the one that I executed here was on my backup drive. It's only been scanned once by Bit Defender. The other one, the one on the same just a copy of those files when I downloaded TeamViewer, is on my little SD card that's on my rescue setup. It had been scanned at least 3 times by Bit Defender and never threw off anything. And I don't think I ever scanned it with KlamAV. So that's what I'm saying. My bright idea, just because it didn't throw off anything in one virus scanner doesn't mean it couldn't have somehow got infected. Of course, it could have always been infected. Or it could be that, another thing is it could be that the very nature of TeamViewer, to be able to view other desktops and control other desktops is throwing it off. So I'm trying to be extra careful, and I was not. I shouldn't have even tried installing that because now I'm worried about it. Let's see what the next one is. See, now you can, I don't know, that one, it must be, I guess this is so dangerous they don't want you to change it, and that's fine with me. But Wine is packaged with TeamViewer, the Windows emulator. I don't have it installed on my system. Pretty certain. Yeah, nothing to do with Wine even installed. I used to use it, but it doesn't run very many programs anymore, so I don't use it. And if you really want to use it, use Play on Linux, and it's kind of a GUI interface that helps you make Wine work better. So, yeah, I'm on desktop. Okay. So let me see how big. Oh, I forgot that this is actually using up resources. Well, it's filling up my drive too because I didn't let these back up and delete those yet. I'll have to do that after I want to scan the backup folder. Okay, yeah, I'm taking so long doing this. Let's, oh, wrong one. Dang it. Can't remember to do. I wanted to do it as root mode. Well, since I'm doing the backup drive, I'm really just going to scan those folders on the backup drive right now, I think. Yeah. Taking forever to open up, isn't it? Yeah, it'll take a little bit. Okay, now it's going to have to update. So I'll just click over into the update window so I can see that it's doing it. Yeah, downloading the update, and it'll pop up and tell me. All right. So then the previous one to that is Gutenprint. Gutenprint. Yeah, it looked like a German word. Gutenprint. Good print. 52 plus US. Attempt this access on Wake Alarm. And if you think, I've seen that one before. They may not be in the order as they happened in this thing. I'm starting to think. So I guess I'll go through all of them. Plug in contain. Yeah, that's the web browser. Java. Okay, so basically I'm seeing the same thing over and over. Okay, list all alerts. So I'm going to go back up to the top one. So in list all alerts, I really have already gone through it all. So that doesn't tell me whether or not I think that's safe or not. Is that done yet? Updated. Okay, scan. Now, I went ahead and plugged in my backup drive. I left it unplugged so that it wouldn't automatically back up in case there's something bad on my system. But now the backup drive is what I want to scan right now. So go to SC Linux. I'm going to move that to, I like to have them in workspaces that kind of work with my logic. Okay, the backup drive. Let's see. Run media. It's in the weirdest place ever. Okay, now I don't want the whole thing, so I'll open it up. I want to it's in the downloads, so still again, it's so much data, I'm not going to try to do it all. Let's see. Team. No, not in team. VNC remote desktop software, team viewer. There we go. So that's where, all of them are. What's the other one? Tiger VNC. Whoops. I'll just leave it separate. That way I know my scan is only pertaining to that folder. Normally I wouldn't, do that, just a couple of folders like that. Oh, should I plug in that SD card and do it too? I guess so. I don't see any reason not to. Let's see if it shows up in there. There it is, right there. It changed anyway, but what did it change? I don't know. It just moved. Okay, so yeah, so there's going to be another drive in there somewhere now. I didn't know if you I never tried that before that I remember. So it should be in the there it is, 32 gigabyte. It's up at the top of that. Don's files. Now. Right now, I am just going to do the TeamViewer folder. And then I mean, it's been scanned quite a few times. Well, I want to do it that way, even though it seems kind of like it almost seems like a waste of time. But I just want to know about those files first, and then I'm still going to end up doing more scan. Just report, scan. It's going to be pretty quick. And kind of make sure it's beginning to calculate. If you try to click that cancel the calculation thing too quick, of course it might get finished, but okay, it might do it pretty quick on a small amount of files. Okay, now let it just scan those. There are Windows executables in there for TeamViewer. They could easily get infected by something, even if it didn't hurt the Linux part of it. Now, I closed that. Okay, so yeah, I was done with that. But what I wanted to look at was documents. Oh yeah, it's in documents. Okay, what was the file? Where did I save that, and where is it? The error messages from, yeah, it was okay. Yeah. I'm in documents. Oh well, yeah, home Don documents. That's where I want to be. Dell, no, not Dell. Lenovo. See it. That's not the right one. Oh, Fedora 23 Lenovo i5. That's, yeah. That says commands starting TeamViewer in terminal. Okay. Starting? I think that's the one where you can. Oh, yeah. Killing and starting it. That's what it is. Okay. Errors installing TeamViewer 13. This is what I'm looking for. I think that'll open up in the other one. Yeah, I made it. Got over there in time for it to open it up over there. Okay, so still scanning. Okay. Let me look in there. I want to make sure I don't have the settings wrong. Yeah, I wouldn't change them while you're scanning, but you can look. Yeah, scan all inside of all. Okay, because I didn't know if it had taken itself out of there, but I just evidently had never set it that way on one of these machines. This machine, I did a scan without realizing I hadn't set that to scan inside of zip files, compressed files. So I want to make sure I am. Let me check. Just reach it and use the mouse pad and all that. I have a mouse plugged into that Dell 6000, but I can't reach it well. So it's actually easier to use the mouse pad and all that, even though I don't like using it. Now we just load it up. Let's see. Yeah, I see the right thing. Mouse pad and all that. It makes me turn way away from the mic, though. Okay. Yeah, copyrights conflicts with 13 to 12. So I believe that, well, I bet it tells you on the site. Kind of seems like I remember it now once I saw this. Yeah, it's all 13 to 12 conflicts. So the problem there, why it wouldn't install, was that I probably needed to uninstall TeamViewer 12 first. But I just got to make sure that all those SC Linux alerts weren't because Oh yeah, when it's done, it will. There we go. I had clicked off of it. When it's done, it'll pop up that little. Well, maybe it only pops up that little. See, it looks like it's finished. If viruses were found, you can right-click and quarantine. I think it is finished, and it's 0 viruses found. Let's see, if I want to scan this whole system again, then I'm going to want to use the root mode so I can scan all folders. I'm going to do this, but with my main regular user has full access to these drives, so I can read and write to them, so that's not a problem. Okay, since that was so quick, I want to do the 32 gigabyte SD card, the whole thing now, to make sure it's safe to use for any rescue operations or anything. Let's go into downloads. And right now I'm not going to rescan the whole downloads. I'm having the hardest time keeping everything straight in my head. Now I am going to go uninstall 13 from the Dell1525 laptop and then scan it here in a minute. Okay, scan, and actually it's might take a while, so let's make sure this is clean so that I can use Bit Defender on this little stick to clean with, I'm getting to feel a little better. Oh, see, it's fast enough that I didn't even ever get to click the that's fine. All it does is, see, now you have a % there. So if you're doing a large amount of data, it'll take it. I've left it there. One time I left it and forgot. I swear it ran an hour and still hadn't finished calculating. See, I just always, any kind of amount, normal amount of data, 5 gig and up, I'd go ahead and skip it. So anyway, yeah, that's probably the problem. Okay. So I'm going to go to, just leave it in that folder. Got to watch my space. I've got to go ahead and back up. Not while I'm using this. I can't do a virus scanner and a backup at the same time. I can do one or the other, and this machine can handle it. Okay, and that stays up there. Normally it's not over there like that, but there it is, a little thing showing you what's going on. I don't like stuff staying there. It's fine when they come up for a minute and let you know, but you would think it would be over there by the icon. Normally that's the area where that stuff comes up. Okay, so as soon as that finishes, I'm gonna look at their page. Of course, the other thing that was funky yesterday, actually during the middle of all that really threw me off, is getting an ad. Why am I getting an ad? Maybe it's got allow acceptable ads. Yeah. Oh, it's not set right. Why? Oh, maybe. Oh, I think I did that on purpose because when I would edit my blog, I have some ads on my blog and I wouldn't be able to see them. That's what it was. But since I'm probably never going to use this again, I'm going to put it the way I like for normal surfing. Okay. Because when I do, see those ads are at the top, and if I hadn't noticed that, I'd be clicking on no telling what it is, because ads can be anything from just annoying, anything from the right thing you're looking for to annoying to dangerous, like this whole thing. Malware being served up through an ad network. That's what happened. Well, I guess it's through. I don't know if it's a regular. It's a malicious ad network, and I think it really is all done by this addonbrowser.com. I don't think it's coming. I don't think they're victims in this. I don't think that the ad network they're using is screwing them over, because there's been too many bad reviews talking about this on the Firefox add-on page. Too long of a time. And if they were trying to straighten it out, it would have already been straightened out. So, TeamViewer, okay, US, there we go. It is a good program, but it was telling me they think it popped up when I was trying to. Let's see, was it during the install? No, I was when I. That was the other. I don't remember if it was now. I can't remember if it was during the install or just when I was trying to open up TeamViewer 12 again during all that mess. It was saying we think you're using it for commercial purposes, and it wouldn't let me run it again after that. And I was like, what the heck? I haven't even used it that much. But then I got to remembering later on last night that Bit Defender has actually, I didn't realize it till yesterday. It has a TeamViewer installing script on it. It doesn't just have it installed on there. It has a downloader, and it's really just a live. So it doesn't install it. It downloads it and runs it, the live version basically. And so you get the newest one. That's a good way to do it. Well, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I copied that script and saved it so I could try to use it myself. It's for the i386 version, which probably won't even, I don't think it'll run on a 64-bit system. But if you can learn what the right address is in there, you could make a new script for 64-bit. But I ran it. I clicked on it 3 or 4 times yesterday, and it worked fine. It ran. But then it was later on when I got that thing saying, we think you're using it for commercial purposes, and it wouldn't even let me start it up. So I think that might have been what caused it. But I was pretty pissed when that happened too. But okay, here's TeamViewer 13. See, completely free for personal use. Limit to computers from those that are not being used for business or other commercial tasks. Okay, well, I'm not doing any of that. I'm just trying to straighten out my messed up computers, and I use it. Well, I go back and forth sometimes, whatever seems more convenient to me, to either use TeamViewer or BNC. The only reason I like, well, it is faster nowadays. It didn't used to be, but now it's faster. Well, actually, I didn't start using it. I don't know if it was faster because I didn't used to use it, but I never had any trouble with VNC apps. They were always so fast I'd forget I was on a remote desktop. But now they lag a lot, and I don't know why it started doing that, But I have to use lower resolution and everything. And so anyway, that's got me using that right there's got me using TeamViewer more often. It's good and it's scary because I've got 3 routers, and in order to go from my front router, I call it the closest one to the one connected to my modem, to the deeper ones on the daisy chain, I have to pull forward through there. Now, if I'm on the last one on the daisy chain, I can actually go forward because the routers look at all traffic coming from the direction of the internet as the possible threat. If you're back on the other end and you're going towards the internet, then or towards your modem, then it'll let it go. And maybe that's a clue as to how TeamViewer can do it. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I can go any direction, and it works without having to do any port forwarding or anything. So that's nice. But that also makes it that also could be used. Well, I'm sure there's people out there that have figured out how to use it. They even mentioned that in the commercial. They said, well, you're not supposed to use it for commercial purpose or nefarious purposes. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing either one. And so I was kind of pissed because it was plus all the trouble with installing it. So let's go to the downloads page. Okay, 13 is right there. Let's see. I want to see about. Okay. Quick support. Oh. Well, I have that on my phone. It also works on Android. I didn't know. I don't know that there's one for desktop. Customer mode does not require authentication, installation, or administrative rights. Simply download, double click, and give the provided ID password. Okay, that must be the one that's being downloaded by I don't have any folders in this one to put. Do I even have a software? See, I have everything really organized. I'm just gonna make a software folder so I can do that. That might be something I would want that I hadn't seen. Okay, host for 24/7 access. I never have done it because they want you to sign up and run it all through their servers. to have something like this going on. Like they didn't use, I don't know, maybe that is what they call it. I don't know, it may not be free to do this. Oh, as a licensed user. Yeah, so you got to pay for that one, I think. Quick join. TeamViewer meeting. That's some stuff I hadn't seen. Okay, so it's still not how to install. That's what I want to. Other installers. MSI package, that'd be for Windows. Portable, now that's the one I was using, but then I couldn't get it to work on. I used it, I had it on my little SD card, and I was able to use it. The 11, I think, worked, and then 12 didn't. I think it worked on i386, but not on 64-bit or something. Can't remember. I went around and around thinking it should work. Why doesn't it work? Okay, and previous versions, 10, 11, and 12. And what's odd is 12 and 11 can connect to each other, but 13 and 12 and 13 can't connect to each other. Okay, so I'm not finding the. I'm wanting to download these now, but there's no point in that right now. Okay, yeah, especially not on this system. It's the one that I'm making a rule for myself: don't download anything on any of these machines that possibly have been, compromised. I'm just trying to find out installation instructions. If I click on that, it'll probably just start downloading. Oh no, it didn't. Okay. 25% off. Oh, it went somewhere else now. Cookies. Sometimes you can't. Yeah, this one they won't even let you make it go away. I never click OK on that. I'm not saying OK to that crap. Especially with an outfit that can see, they already know they went to the right operating system. They're tracking everything you do on here. They even said that in some of that stuff about how they know that how they think you're using it for. We use tracking to see if we think you're using it for commercial purposes. I guess their tracking is not that good. I think they just went by how many times I used that script evidently to download it, which I didn't know. I didn't realize. I didn't think about it. I didn't know it was a downloading script at first. I thought it was just starting it up. Then I realized it said in there. I wasn't reading the output. It just said downloading, and I thought, oh. And I'd used it several times in the last few days too. When I've been scanning these systems. Ubuntu, Red Hat, and then other systems. So that is the one they told you in the past to download to use in portable mode. Now it has a 64 and a 32-bit. If I continue to use it, then quick support might be another way to do it. Yeah, that might be all right. You wouldn't have okay, system requirements and installation notes. The bookmarks I'm not worried about saving. The HTML bookmarks, I've really never caught one actually holding malware in it. Now, Windows favorites can have malware within the file. Let's see. And I've seen it like once you have an infection on your system, it can end up spreading through a bunch of other ones that aren't even, they're not to malicious sites, or anything, but there's malware in the .url file. System requirements, domain 9, real. This is all for Linux. That's kind of cool. They have it laid out really nice. You don't have to sift through all the Windows stuff if you're, really, if you want Linux. Choose the package you want. Install TeamViewer. By double clicking on it. Sometimes on a system that's new or live, and you might want to run it. Then if you didn't have to install it, it'd be great, because like that quick support sounds like the best one. Or I've used portable version in the past, but quit working for me. But yeah, not having to install, because you got to install the right stuff on a system in order to be able to. That hung me up this week. Tried to use it on some of the systems, and I didn't have the right things installed in the system to be able to install from a RPM. Was the problem on a Linux system. Okay, so yeah, I think that quick support. I never didn't realize. I saw it in Android, in the Google store, and used it. We had to. That's how you make it work on Android. It doesn't. Well, I guess it's my phones and their Wi-Fi chips. They're not fast enough, but you can't really use it. I mean, you might get 10 minutes out of it, and then it gets so slow you can't. It doesn't refresh, and you can't do anything. It'd be great for making videos. I have done that, or just to work on the phone and be able to makes it big enough on your screen on your monitor to be able to read it. But it lags too much. It just gets so far behind you can't use it on my phones. Let's see. Okay. TeamViewer host. Oh, can't be installed side by side. Yeah, okay. If you want to install TeamViewer host, that's the one that's always, you boot up the machine and then serving up. And used to, it didn't require, when I first started using TeamViewer, it didn't require a password or anything. It said, if you use this, don't use it on anything that can be accessed from the internet. And then there was a big hoopla not long after that about, oh, TeamViewer's got this insecure thing and all that. Well, it tells you what to do and what not to do, and people were just not paying attention, not reading any of the instructions, and opening the machine up to the world. So I think they changed it. Yeah, I guess so. That's probably why now you have to make an account on their website and go through their server to make it do that. Or you did last time I checked. If you want to run it occasionally, you can use the package and run it without installation. So you can still use it. Oh, that package. Okay, you could use TeamViewer host, just run it when you want to. But from what, like I said, there may be a password set up in it now. There wasn't a year or two ago when I first started really using it. Updates. That says Red Hat and CentOS. Red Hat is the granddaddy of Linux. They're the ones that makes up Linux, Fedora Linux. Okay, so I'm going to go to that one because Fedora is under that. I don't see Fedora though. Sometimes it doesn't apply to Fedora if it just says Red Hat. There we go. Yeah, it's actually downloading it from Fedora. Okay. Now what I'm looking for, it didn't say it, but I think that the reason it didn't install, then I'm pretty sure I just need to uninstall Pt12. I probably saw it somewhere on some other page at some point, because I really think, I mean, I just know that sometimes that's what you need to do with not any, well, it's been a long time since I saw anything in an app. Well, actually, if it does need to be done and you're in the Fedora repos and repositories, it'll do it for you automatically. I guess I'm too spoiled. I'm all these years on Linux, Fedora Linux. I don't have to do some of these things. This is like a common thing that would happen with a Windows application. Well, this really is still a Windows application. It runs in Wine, the Windows emulator. It does not actually run on Linux. That's how they make it run on Linux, and you'll see that in your system when you run it. But okay, so what I'm trying to figure out is, does all those SE Linux alerts come from some malware inside of that? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Not trying to figure out go back to that downloads page. I thought that was pretty interesting. Where is that? I don't see the page I was on anymore. Quick support. No, I don't want that. There we go. Quick support. I want a screenshot of that. And I'll just leave it like that. That's the only thing I'm really thinking. I want to go back and I couldn't, like, if I'll ever I take so many screenshots, I don't end up being able to find what. If I even think, okay, I think I had a screenshot of that, I get tired of paging through them. There's the portable version. And my videos are too long for me to go back and find them in my videos unless I get lucky, because nobody's gonna watch the whole video. Even me, I'm gonna thumb through it. I'll leave that open for now. Go to my video manager. Yes. Don't really know where I want to go. Let's see. Go to the live dashboard, and since I'm right here, I see that KlamAV looks like it's finished still, but I can check my stream right quick. Live dashboard, and okay. Now, yeah, I'm going to close that now. Let's get rid of those. Those use up even just a few of them. When I'm making a video, I don't want anything. Yeah, scan is complete. Okay, there we go. Now, I guess I am going to go make screenshots though. Let's see what we got here. I always do that. Well, these are long enough. Sometimes the names and addresses are really long. I'm going to go by problem found. Broken executable. MPI tool pack plus Cloverlight. Okay, now this is the 32 gigabyte. These are my files. Okay, that is MPI tool pack. I think those are codecs for Windows. Cloverlight's a player. It says plus Cloverlight. Okay, well, I'm just go through them first. E2B, easy to boot grub. Okay, no, I don't want to get rid of that. That would break that thing from booting up. Okay, I think it's fine. I mean, these are the kind of things that will show up. They're not broken. They show up as broken when they're not. It's hard to say because they're Linux file. Well, they may be Linux files. This thing is actually built in Windows, but it boots Linux and Windows ISOs, so this easy to boot. That's what this is. It's an easy to boot multi-boot system, and then I have some of my own files in my download in my Dons files folder. So that's another one of the system that makes it work. Wim boot to be IM. ISO docs, easy to boot utilities, password is. Okay, now that's looks like it might be a password changer, finder. So it would show up. It says it's just encrypted. It doesn't say it's broken, so it's just encrypted because it should be. The only one that I don't want to leave on there, then, that's funny that this thing's been scanned on many times, at least 3 times by Bit Defender, and it didn't throw up anything on it, period. But KlamAV, they always go back and forth. But since I don't even know why that's on there, I guess at some point I thought I was messing with a Windows system and wanted I guess I wanted some codecs, or maybe I don't remember. There was only once or twice when I ever thought I even wanted Cloverlight, because it's a Microsoft player that's not widely used. So quarantine, now it's quarantined. And I'm going to go to quarantine, refresh. That's what you got to do to see it. And some of the newer versions I've noticed still make you have to hit refresh. And sometimes it's haphazard, so always just hit refresh to make sure you know everything that's in quarantine. And I'm going to delete it. Then you got to completely delete it. That puts it in like, well, it says quarantine history. So you could leave it in there, I guess to kind of like make sure you don't accidentally access it. It's going to be in probably quarantine history folder, and I think it would be on the drive of the machine you're on, not on. Yeah, it would be. It would be on somewhere in this machine, not on that SD card anymore. But you could put it back if you decided you needed it. Okay, so I'm glad I did that. I still don't. Okay, it's still going to be running. I still don't feel completely wonderful about oh, that's my screenshot. I was trying to click on the tabs in there. Okay, I don't feel completely wonderful about how safe I still am, you know, or if I'm still safe, if I messed up running that. I got to thinking, just because Bit Defender didn't see anything wrong on the SD card, let's see, oh, that Cloverlight thing, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out now so I can use it. And I believe I want to put it in the, let's see, how do I want to do this? I'm going to try a different scanner with, I have a couple more on the laptop. So let me switch to Cam 2. I have it all there. I'm going to plug this in. Plug that in, and I have the wireless keyboard and mouse hooked up to it, so it's mounted up. Now I was going to, first I want to uninstall, let's see, okay, I'll have to go to, well, let's see, this is Debian, okay, Synaptic. Now let's see if TeamViewer got added to Synaptic, because I'm not sure if it does or not. Some of these apps, when you install them from an RPM, it'll actually automatically add the repo for that app. I don't think TeamViewer does that, but let's make sure. Okay, we need a root password for this machine. Whoops, wrong keyboard. What did I do? Oh, I'm in my preview on my, yeah, okay, I messed it up. I have in my preview and I hit a letter on the keyboard, wrong keyboard, and so it moved to a different scene. Okay, so now I've got out the right keyboard and got it in front of me, so there. Okay, so I want to, if it's in Synaptic, then I will uninstall it. And if it's not, I will have to try running. I think if you run the installer again, you should be able, it'll probably give you the option to uninstall if it sees that it's there. Kind of like Windows, you know. Well, again, this really is, okay, it's there. So this is a Windows app, so I was thinking that could be, excuse me, possibility. So right click, mark for removal, mark for complete removal. That's what I want this time. Yes. And Synaptic, there's two ways to uninstall: removal, and I think if you just remove it, might leave the repo in there, the repository, and if you completely remove it, then it'll just get rid of the app. And oh wait, let's look at that. Complete removal, I'm changing that. I think complete removal might get rid of all its dependencies, which could be used by other applications. Yeah, I think that's what it does. I think the repos get, if there's no other apps out of that repo, it will just take the repo out. We'll look at the repo before we go here. Repositories, okay. Skype, from me putting Skype on there, TeamViewer, stable, and preview of TeamViewer, and then Debian. Yeah, and those, I might be able to go find the archives of Debian. See, this is Debian Jesse. If I could find, well, I don't know. You know, I tried to update it, and it was missing some of the repositories that, let's look at that again. I just thought. This is one of those mini mice. That's not opening up. What's going on here? There we go. Oh, I was right clicking on it. It's not the mouse, it's me this time. Okay, there's some more TeamViewers that you couldn't even select. Oh yeah, you could. Okay. And then CD-ROM. there's one of those, like if you had your app on CD, you could use it. You could plug it into the machine, put the CD in the machine, and then select that repository, and you could install from CD-ROM that way. There's some really cool things in Debian that aren't in Fedora, and the other way around. Like SE Linux is really the coolest thing in Fedora, the best thing. So let's go ahead and apply and uninstall TeamViewer. Now we're going to be, Firefox, iSweasel, and Skype for Linux. Why is it doing that? Oh, unchanged. It says to be unchanged. Okay, right. I don't know why it's in there. TeamViewer. Okay. Maybe, I guess because I tried to update them and they couldn't update. But I don't want to uninstall Firefox because I've got the newest version on here, but it depends on the profile for the installed Firefox. But it's not going to be used. I'm not going to use it, and Mom wouldn't even know how to get in there. You have to go in here and go internet, and she wouldn't do it. She'll only, she'll always click on the icons like I told her. I noticed she did. I put it, well, on this one I don't have it. I had it on the desktop. In her screen name I have it on the desktop, and she said, well, I've been using that one because I was saying this one is Firefox, this one's Chromium. She was confused about all that. Okay, it's done. Now, we shouldn't have any TeamViewer on here whatsoever. Yeah. Something came up, no, I guess it was, yeah, TEA. Okay, TeamViewer. I have VNC Viewer. So if you want to say, I have KRFB on there, but you got to type KRFB. Okay, and that's the VNC server that I use. But of course, you have to forward through all the ports and all that junk to get it to work. Actually, I think maybe it was set up to go to this machine on this router here, the one that I have plugged into it right now. The cable, that I think it might work right now, but I could try that. But let's see. Well, even I'm trying to be extra safe, so I won't do that. No connections between machines right now, especially since I may have screwed it up again. But let's see. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead. I've got that SD card in there, and it's got Bit Defender. Well, I'll try see if it'll run something else. It's going to restart. Now let's see if any of the other scanners. I was debating about doing that anyway, so that was a scary enough thing to tell me to just go ahead and do it. Now let's see if any of the others. Okay, making sure my stream is still working right. And okay, so I checked the SE Linux. I'm looking at my notes now. And uninstall TeamViewer. It didn't see the SD card. I wonder why. Usually it does. This machine does. It went right to the regular. Okay, I did that part. So I'll shut it down and then start it up. Maybe it will do it. Sometimes in the laptop, some of these laptops, that'll make it automatically see you. Because I didn't break it. I didn't do anything to break it. And it's plugged in. I see it. I don't think it matters what USB port you're in or anything. I usually put it over there on the right side. It is on the left side, but I don't think that would make any difference. Some desktops, it does matter which one you put it in. Some of the older, like Pentium 4 class machines. Okay, turn it back on. I was waiting for it to reboot. Now, of course, I could hit whatever. I forgot what you hit, and it went by already. So let's see. I think it's getting to easy to boot. Yep. So that'll work. Virus. Okay. So I can let this run while I'm doing other stuff. And Bit Defender is fast, so that was what I was thinking. But it's also I've scanned it with KlamAV and Bit Defender, but KlamAV was running within the operating system, and that's not really the best way to do it. Matter of fact, Mom's brand new machine, I decided, I really ought to scan it. So I think I've got my Fedora 27 USB stick that was written, and made up before long. That's what I installed from a couple of months ago, so it wouldn't have anything bad on it. And it's got 8 core and 8 gig RAM, so I can run anything I want in the memory. So I'm gonna boot it up and install KlamAV and run it like a rescue system. I always wished I could make let me click on AVG. I was going to try it. Can't talk and work at the same time. So there it is. Okay, let's see. Let's stop it. Use the arrow keys just to make it stop where I can read. Rescue CD, failsafe mode, resolution, CD with resolution selection, boot from hard disk, mem test, and then reboot. Okay, I just want AVG rescue CD. I tried to boot it on my Lenovo i5 there, and it failed. It wouldn't boot. So I was wondering. I thought I used that before. So these things don't always boot on all machines. Let's see if it's going to boot or fail. If it's not going to boot on 2 machines in a row, then I'm just going to delete that file off of there. It must not be good for anything. The only thing I am concerned about is it going to stop some of these, and this may be one of those ones that deletes everything it sees without asking you. So if it does that, at least I know it's running on Linux, which I like better. Some rescue disks are actually running on some version of Windows. Usually says something like Windows PE, so it's like they're using a Windows pre-installation environment to boot a live system. And those could get infected, and this, this SD card's just a FAT32 writable disk, so infections could get all around, could be written to it all around. They could bounce around there. They might even find a way to write into your ISO and infect your rescue. So, but more likely in Windows than it would be in a Linux system. At least it has been that way for the last however many years. It could be hanging up. Let's see. Let me read through that. Kernel init. Offset disable. Dump stack. Handle IRQ. I don't even see the word error anywhere in there, so maybe it's okay. Just doesn't look like what I'm used to seeing during a boot. Oh, panic. Kernel init. Reset. Ret from kernel thread. Rest. Init. Okay. It's in trace. So yeah, it doesn't say. It only says kernel. It doesn't say kernel panic like they usually say, but it says panic. So it's broke. Let's see if I can hit Control-Alt-Delete. Nope, that's the way it did the last time. I'm going to hard shut it down. And I'm going to go ahead and... Bit Defender is extremely fast. So I'm going to use it on the whole system like this. And I know that it will mount... This is the Bane 8. It will mount every drive onto Bane 8. So I'm going to use it because it did fine. It seems to still be working pretty good. I need to get on a machine. Oh, I clicked on AVG again. I need to try to find something newer. I used to use, I call it Kaspersky. It's really, I finally figured out it's really Kaspersky. I think it's probably the person's name. But I always call it Kaspersky because that's what it looked like to me. But I think I got to thinking about, why don't I have it on here? And I think it got to where it wouldn't. I don't think they've updated the rescue ISO and it won't boot on newer machines, I think is what happened. I need to look and see. These have been on there a while, a year or two. And so even though it's, antivirus. Okay, stop talking for a second here. Bit Defender. Even though it's it updates the virus definitions, I think maybe these... I'm not sure. That's the thing. These rescue hit enter. These rescue systems, I don't think they're as dependent. I think maybe the whatever's neat, not just the virus definitions get updated, but maybe the program itself. It's hard to tell. But if you had it installed on your machine, then of course, if you run Windows and you use virus software, that's going to constantly be updating not just the virus definitions every day or every few hours, but the program as well. So I tried to make a VAST. I like a VAST, and I tried to make a VAST rescue disk, but that failed. And the last 3 or 4 times I've tried that, it failed. I've done it before a long time ago, but I don't know why it's failing. I was doing it in a virtual machine, an XP virtual machine, but it just failed with no explanation. So, but this will update itself, start scanning, and scan it'll even scan the thing, the drive I boot from. So, if that comes up clean, I'll feel better. But of course, here's the thing: if you don't get a second opinion and a third opinion, okay, let's see, accept the license. I'm looking to see. I don't think it's got anything. I haven't been looking at it because I've used it for so long. Okay, I don't know. I didn't. I was trying to see if there's. I don't think. Usually, if it's a GPL open source license, then it's right at the very top, and I didn't see that. So it's updating. It just says status downloading. It shows the file names that it's downloading. Malware, ASPE. I don't know if those are definitions. If you sat there and watched it, maybe you'd see something that would tell you. I'll try to watch it for a little bit here. But anyway, it being 1 or 2 years old since I downloaded these rescue ISOs, I don't know if the programs themselves are too far out of date, but they're not like a regular real-time antivirus. It needs to be updated so that the real-time portion of it can work. So I guess I'm just worried how if they're 100% effective, or as much as 100% effective as they can be. It seems to be when you use it. Like when I go back and forth between KlamAV, that's the first time just a while ago that I saw something that KlamAV saw that Bit Defender didn't pop off on, but it also was something that didn't say it was a virus. It said it was broken executable. So I deleted it just to be safe. The one that when I just now scanned this SD card on my other system. Okay, it's still downloading. Excuse me. So I'm going to. I just realized that well, let's leave it playing. It's a good thing. Okay, I'm going to let it work on updating. That's one problem I have. When I move that keyboard, the pencil sticks out and rests on it. There it is. The pencil that I used to switch my KVM switch with. Okay, but I don't need to switch the KVM switch. I just want to go back to desktop. Okay, and that's why I thought I'd leave my preview playing so that I know that how's everything doing over here. FC troubleshoot shows up to still be it's still running somewhere. Well, it's not showing up even the icon, is it? No. But it's KlamAV. I really wanted to have. I didn't want to have the regular user KlamAV running. I wanted to have root user, but I just remembered that I don't have a heck of a lot of space on here because I haven't backed this thing up. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm feeling like I have to have a break anyway. I think I'll stop. It's down to 11.6 gigabyte, but I can stop this video and then let it back up. And let's see, did I scan? Yeah, I scanned the folders. The only thing I suspected was TeamViewer, I actually meant to delete those files. Well, I didn't. They didn't show up to be bad, so I didn't delete them. That's what happened. Okay. But with it throwing off, well, TeamViewer 12 still working, and I've had trouble. You know, the last time I tried to install TeamViewer 13 on something, it wouldn't install. I guess it was on here. I don't know. I'm thinking I might stick with TeamViewer 12 for a while, but it's usually better, you know, for security reasons. Even if you don't like, maybe you don't like some of the changed features, sometimes that happens, or the lack of them, you know, with this proprietary software. Sometimes you might wish to keep the older version for a while, but anyway, I was thinking I might just delete all TeamViewer files, but now I'm thinking, well, maybe not. Especially not the older versions, because I know they work. Yeah, I'm not going to do any changes then. Let's see. Yeah, I scanned the folder. It didn't. Yeah, I have TeamViewer 12. No sense in opening it up, I don't guess. I'm not going to connect anything. Okay. That's still working away. And I'll leave it there for a minute. Let's see. So what I'm going to do then is go take a break that I need, get myself resituated, and then come back. And that'll just be automatically scanning when it gets up. And it does. I saw, you know, yesterday or the day before when I ran it on this laptop, it automatically mounts. Since it's Domain 8, it can mount the ext4 file systems. Can't mount the Fedora LVM, so it's no use on Fedora. I've tried that yet too. But so it'll mount and scan. I'm just going to let it do the whole thing again, because if I feel like I didn't screw up, and I don't think I did. I guess it wasn't actual malware. See, when that SC Linux popped up like 6 alerts, I thought, oh no, there may be malware in that file. But I've scanned all of the TeamViewer files I have, and with KlamAV. And now it'll be scanned again with Bit Defender over here on the SD card. Of course, there could be malware on the one on the backup drive and not on them. And I was using the backup drive to try to install it on my system, so that's why I made sure I scanned it. So I don't think I got hit again by anything. You know, I thought, well, what if some of that malware from the, you know, from the bad add-on had actually crawled into the TeamViewer files? And since they're built basically to run on Windows, they would be potentially more vulnerable than a Linux application too. So yeah, so that was good reasoning. All right, so yeah, I'm having trouble thinking about what it is I'm going to do. Okay, so that'll be running. I'll reboot this system, let it back up, because I want everything backed up, and then I can delete those extra videos. And I can start happily making videos again. Once I get them backed up, I can delete them off of this machine. That's my thing I'm trying to say. And then at some point here, I want to start up Mom's machine on the Fedora stick, and download KlamAV and scan that whole thing, because it hasn't been scanned not even once. I've just been so busy with these other 2 machines. And then the laptop, if I feel like I got it cleaned up, then I will put it back in there for Mom to use, and then I won't feel in such bad time crunch. You know, her with all she has is a tablet to use, and it's hard. I can't hardly use those darn things. They're just so different than Linux or Windows. So the interface and everything. So yeah, so let me shut down, and I'll come back after a while after I get everything situated again. Alright, this is Don. I'll be back later.